Place the file in destination. Whew, that was so fast. And that's going from regular SSD to the newest one. So that was over 350 megabytes per second write and read speed. And now I'm going to copy to itself. So this is the newest one. We're going to copy and make a copy of a file to itself. So this is going to be read and write speed combined to itself. Oh my God. That was insanely fast. Hello everyone, my name is Irvin, also known as Kobo Man. In today's video, I will show you how to upgrade your computer to the latest m.2 type of solid state drive. So that way we have the latest and the fastest and the greatest performance ever when it comes to hard drives, right? So this is the best one. This is the current one, 970 EVO NVMe m.2 with a VNAND SSD, which is the new type of memory that they switched over from a standard solid state drives, a type of memory that it's used. Anyways, without boring you too much, here's a problem. A lot of times we want the best, but we don't necessarily want to spend a whole lot of money on buying a new computer, and we want to install one of these, and this is what they look like. This is one of these m.2 solid state drives, and the problem comes when we try to install it into our computer that is few years old. Chances are it will not have this type of slot, which it has these two types of notches. So let's open it up. This is a HP 800 G2 type of computer. So let's say you have one of these or something like it, or anything that is, a little bit older. It's not going to have a place for you to put this. It's simply not. So if you look here, where can you put this? Doesn't go there. Definitely not there. This is our PCI Express 16 time slot. Chances are we're going to have a video card here, so that's out of the question. These two are PCI Express ×2, I believe. ×1, I'm sorry. These are ×1. And the next available thing we have is PCI Express ×4, which is this white one. So, either way, we can't. There's no place to put this. What can we do about that? Well, we can buy an adapter that we can use to plug in our solid state drive that is the fastest, right? So, an option to that is, one option that we have is to buy one of these adapters. This one is by Ventec, and there will be a link in the description box just to make sure you guys buy the correct one. Thank you very much if you do buy one. And this one is an adapter for m.2 NVMe Plus, and also has a SATA m.2 SATA SSD, and it goes inside of PCI Express ×4. So as I mentioned earlier, we just want to make sure that we have one of these white slots, which is PCI Express ×4. So this is perfect. We have it free. Now we can install our adapter. It is crucial to make sure you buy the correct one. So I will link you the proper one. Inside the box, we have our adapter. Now you can see that there is a slot for our hard drive. Now we can insert our hard drive. And the way we would do that is by inserting it as so. Just a sec, I will zoom in so you guys can see this properly. Now we have a place for our hard drive. There is a little slot that matches just like so, and then we can now insert it precisely like this, a little bit on an angle, sort of like memory in a laptop. So it goes in on an angle, and you gently push it in to make sure that the little copper connectors are no longer visible, and then we simply lower it. It's going to be a little bit of spring action, but we do have a little hole here which we are going to use a screw and a washer to attach. It's super simple. They come with the package. By the way, the package for this adapter also comes with this really nice screwdriver, so you don't actually have to have your own. So It is a tool you need, but you don't actually have to have one because it does come with it. It's very surprising. I've never seen an adapter which only costs about $15 that came with a screwdriver. And it came with screw and a washer, which are these. I'm going to try to angle as properly as I can. See how this gold color one has it's a little bit different, and it goes underneath here. So if you have a same type of drive, which I will link in the description box, you can use this washer, insert it from underneath as so, and just kind of hold it with your index finger or whichever finger you prefer. Now we're going to use this screw to attach it, and we're going to use our screwdriver that came with the adapter, and then we're going to screw it in. Good thing it's magnetic, otherwise I would have lost it by now. Doesn't help that I had quite a bit of coffee this morning, so I'm a bit shaky. Come on. I promise you it's not this difficult, it's just that I'm clumsy. There it is. Okay, so once you get it caught like that, I'm trying to get you a little good angle here. Just gently screw it in. You don't have to force nothing. No, you don't need a lot of, just very gently. As soon as you feel it's tightening, you're done. So now it's not going anywhere. By the way, this I have attached a back plate for a low profile computer, which is this one. So it will come by default with a regular standard size plate for a regular computer, for regular size desktop, right? For like a mid-tower or something like that. It does come with a low profile adapter, which is great because my 800G1 is a low profile computer. So I went ahead and attached that. I did notice about this adapter that this is actually a little bit long. It could be that my case is a little bit bent, but I left it a little bit loose here, right? So it's not a big deal. So I just left it a little bit loose to make it easier for me to actually install this drive. So just slightly loose, as long as it's in there and it has a little bit of room, because for me it was a little bit difficult to align this with the PCI Express slot ×4. And of course you have room for another drive which is used for the SATA. So if you connect the SATA, you can connect the drive here. This is what this is for. This one is specifically used from to PCI Express ×4, which is should be quite a bit, and should be a lot faster than just a regular SATA, right? Okay, now that we have this connected, I'm going to insert it into our PCI Express ×4. Of course, always be gentle with installing these. There's a little gap underneath here. I hope you can see it. I'll try to kind of lift it up. There's a little gap underneath every time you install a card that you have to make sure that this part goes inside of. And ahead of time, I removed just the protective backplate that used to be here, and now I'm going to insert this as so. So again, be gentle, take your time. All computers are different. In generally speaking, all computers will have one of these white slots, which is what you need. Then I'm just going to align it. Once I know it's aligned properly, I'm just going to push it down, and there it goes. The way you know it's pushed in all the way is that you don't see any copper connectors. Now you're good to go, and I'm going to close this up. I'm going to connect this just in case, although I'm not using the slot for the SATA connector, but I'm going to connect it anyways, just in case I decide to use it for something later. That's that. And with that being installed, I'm going to put my cover back on. I'm going to go to my computer and show you what you need to do next after this. Ideally speaking, this should just show up as a drive on your computer, and then all you got to do is just format it, which I will show you real quick too. It's no big deal. But if you were trying to use it as a boot drive, you can certainly do so. Depending on your computer, you may have to go to BIOS and make some changes in there for it to show up properly, maybe not. But just keep that in mind. If you're trying to install OS on it on a fresh computer and you don't see it, make sure you go inside of BIOS and make appropriate changes. Okay, let's go to our computer and see.
So with the hardware installed itself and with the computer turned on, what is the first thing we're going to check? Well, obviously we're going to check to see if our drive shows up. As you may have noticed, my computer here has 2 drives installed. And to see if the third one is installed, we're going to go to this PC. And unfortunately, our drive doesn't show up. Well, why is that? As I mentioned earlier, we will have to format the drive in order to show up. If we want to get a little bit more technical to make sure that our adapter that we've installed for our drive is installed properly, we can check that first. So let's do that real quick, and then we're going to go and format our drive and set it up properly so it actually shows up. The way you do that is through the device manager. So if you have, Windows 10, you can just type in device manager, go through that, or alternatively, you can just type in, my computer, which is old way of saying this PC on Windows 7, but it's this PC on Windows 10. So once you have that, you may have an icon on your desktop as well. You can just right click it, select properties, and then from there you can access device manager. So let's open up our device manager and see if there are any errors. We would expect to be some errors because our drive is not showing up, but they're not because everything's actually correct. We just have to do a little bit configuration. So in order to see if our NVAM driver controller has been installed, we're going to go to storage controllers. We're going to expand that to see. And then we can, at the bottom, see that we do have indeed standard NVM Express controller installed. These other 2 are for our SATA loopback controller, storage space controller, and VHD loopback controller. We don't have to worry about that. At this point, we do want to make sure that this here is installed without any issues. This indicates to us that the adapter works perfectly. So this is all good. So now let's go format our drive so that way we can see it. The one way to do that is through our manage options, and this is fine again with this PC or my computer, and then going to right click it, and then we're going to manage our storage from there. Not to confuse you, we're just going to right click on this PC, my computer, or whatever it is that you have, and then we're going to select manage, which is right here. We're going to select manage, and then we're going to look for storage, which is right here, and then we're going to look for disk management because we know that we've installed a disk, or this is an old way of saying, hard drive, but because it's actually no longer a disk. It's actually kind of funny, but this is where it's going to be. So we're going to select that, and we're going to see what happens. And the system has found our drive immediately, and it's asking us what kind of style of partition do we want. And this is where we can tell it to create a master boot record type of partition on this PCI Express m.2 slot drive. But so you can select that if you want and click OK, and then it's going to create a type of partition for a boot type of partition. For that, I will go ahead and leave it at GPT, and it's a new type of partition that is not recognized by a previous version of Windows. So Windows 7 will not have this option whatsoever. I'm going to click OK, and now we have our partition here which hasn't been allocated. So basically what this does is we tell the computer how much of the storage we want to use. Because if we go back here to our computer here, we can still see, I'm going to refresh this, it's still not showing up because all it is just a partition. It hasn't been allocated in the sense where we need to tell the computer how much of it do we want to use. And we want to use all of it. Why not? Why would we want to not use all of it? So we're going to right click it here. We know this is our drive, and we're going to select new simple volume. And this is self-explanatory. We're just going to click next on this wizard. We're going to leave it at default, and we're just going to click next again. Here you can change the letter if you really want to. I will change it. I will just leave it at E to make it simple. And there are other things you can do, but right now we're just installing this drive so that we can use it. If you are interested in a lot of other IT stuff or computer related stuff that go into detail about this stuff, you can certainly go through my channel. I have a lot of videos like that. Then we're going to click next, and I'm going to format it. I'm going to leave it NTFS, because it's internal. We're not going to use anything else. So leave everything at default. You can label it as something else. In my case, I'm going to be using this as a scratch drive for my video editor because it's fast. Adobe Catch. So I'm going to call it that, and I'm going to perform a quick format. And I'm going to click next and then finish just to confirm that everything is what I want. And as you can see, it appeared immediately here. And now we're going to go inside of it. So every time you, partition a drive, and then after you format it, it actually is less of actual storage, if you will. You guys probably know this already. If a drive is 256 gigabytes after you format it, it actually goes down to 232. There's an explanation that. Anyways, I'm not going to bug you about the technical aspects of this. We're just going to see how fast it is. So this is our regular standard drive. This is magnetic drive. This is not even a solid state. This one is solid state. So let's go do a quick test to see why would you want to do this. I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to, let's do this. I'm just going to take one of my old videos here. These are pretty large 4K videos. This is 7.92. Let's do this one, 755 megabyte. Let's see how fast we can copy this to our regular solid state. I'm going to create this. This is our regular solid state drive as a boot system. This is not the one we installed. So this is OS SSD, and I'm going to create new folder in here. We're going to call this one optical drive, old style of hard drive. Okay, I'm going to create desktop shortcut. This is just so we can tell the test in between. We're going to copy back and forth, and we're going to create another folder inside of our new, this is our brand new m.2 drive. And I'm going to send that to desktop so that way we can test to see how fast we can copy from each two, right? Okay. Gonna sort them like this. So this is old, newer, the best, the newest, which is what we have installed here. So I'm going to copy from old. This is old one. We're going to go inside of it. I'm going to open it up here. Old style, operating system, and m.2. So the video I've selected here was 755 megabytes. Let's see how fast it will write this into our regular solid state drive. So this is our old drive, right? This is old drive. I just want to make sure that that's clear. This is old. We're going to copy to itself. We're going to see write and read speeds in real time. and it'll just show up. In Windows, it's just going to show how fast it's going. So we're going to do this. I'm going to paste it. So it's copying to itself. And it says about 10 seconds. It doesn't mean much. Okay. So we're seeing around 40 megabytes per second on average when it comes to speed. Now we're going to copy from old to new, and then I'm going to copy to itself afterwards. So this is testing speed to the new one, to the newer one. And look at that. It's almost 100 megabytes per second. And now we're going to copy from the old one to the newest one. So what we saw here is that around 100 megabytes per second actual speed to regular solid state. Now this is the newest one from the old one, keep in mind. And this is also going about the same speed. This is because the read speed from the old one is limited to that. So now we're going to copy from standard SSD to itself, just to see. Look at those speeds. It does start off strong, but it does taper down to 60-ish, right? So the read speed on this one, on the regular solid state, is around that in real time. Now we're going to copy from this to that, to the newest one that we have. Place the file in destination. Whew, that was so fast. And that's going from regular SSD to the newest one. So that was over 350 megabytes per second write and read speed. And now I'm going to copy to itself. So this is the newest one. We're going to copy and make a copy of a file to itself. So this is going to be read and write speed combined to itself. Oh my God. That was insanely fast. That was insanely fast. Okay. So I'm going to do it again. Oh my God. That was so fast, guys. So really, why would you not want this? Especially if you're doing video editing. This is so insanely fast. I'm actually mind blown because I've never had one of these myself. This is crazy fast. Oh my God. All right, guys. I hope that wasn't too much to keep up with, and I hope I demonstrated that properly, but the speed of that was just insane. And again, if you're interested in any of this, there are links in the description for this adapter and for this drive. Insane speeds, guys. Thank you so much. Please tell your friends about this. I really do appreciate it. And I am here for you if you have any questions, if you need any help in regards to this. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Oh man, I can't wait to play with this.